Hey, what's up guys? We're back again to attempt something that has never successfully been done in Clash Royale. Building a double graveyard deck. The concept is incredibly memey because double graveyard will cost you 11 Elixir. You won't have a tank for your graveyard with that 11 Elixir, and you're probably gonna have to remove any bait cards that your opponent drops. If you drop a freeze, then you're up to 15 Elixir. And if you have a pekka on the field, that's 22. It's practically impossible to afford all this in single Elixir, and you have to survive the early game. Having 4 spells in my deck will give me card hands that will be really hard to manage. I'm praying for the possibility that we can arrive at double Elixir unscathed so we can release the rambunctious graveyard skeletons to fully surround and pound our opponent's towers. We can use our first graveyard to bait out our opponent's counters or stack 2 on top of each other to confuse our opponent and deal double the damage. It's time to swarm our opponents with skeletons from all sides and assert dominance. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on any of the daily videos. Lots of love to everyone that's using creator code SirTag to make all the high effort videos possible. All right, so jumping into the game, this guy is apparently a barbarian bum and he is going to go in for Royale Ghost. So that's not a barbarian. No E-barbs here. What are you doing, my man? Oh, it's a Three Musketeer deck. Well, that might be miserable for me because I have literally no spell that does damage. I guess maybe you could count Rage as doing damage, but it's more of a tickle than anything else. After Rage started to do damage, it does like 77 damage to towers or something like that, so it's not that impactful. We're going for a Skeletons on top of the Musketeer. Hopefully we're able to fully counter it. I don't think it gets a hit on our tower, and then we can go and pop our Archer Queen ability because I don't know what weird card this man is going to whip out. He dropped a Hunter. Well, that is a very dead queen. Okay, so I can go for Skeleton Surround on top of the Hunter, and that will fully counter it. Even if it's not level 15, it should be more than enough. If you guys didn't know, you're able to use Skeletons to counter almost everything in the game for a 1 Elixir trade. But in this case, because I had to mirror it up, I ended up spending 2 Elixir. Okay, so I'm definitely going to go for a freeze here. That is well worth it. If I go for a Rage, my minions are going to be attacking faster, and I delete his Heal Spirit. He is not happy with how this transpired. Oh my gosh. That's why we have minions in our deck, guys. If you don't know, now you know. And we're currently up 2,000 damage. And that's not even the strength of my deck. You saw a couple cards thrown together for some Sen energy, but it wasn't the full form of our deck. We can unleash the mirrored graveyards to make you absolutely infuriated. Because he's frustrated right now, but what's going to happen when he sees level 15 cards? We're leveling up our toxicity out here. So I can maybe go in for the Archer Queen ability, but I don't think it's necessarily going to be worth it until he drops more cards. And he does eventually go for the Royale Ghost. I might have to go for a Pekka here so I don't take too much damage. And it looks like he's going to continuously bridge spam me. This is where we are. Double Elixir. I can afford my stuff. The one thing I'm not a huge fan of is I'm dropping raged up skeletons on defense, guys. Oh, how we have fallen into the depths of despair. Wait, you know what? The Pekka on the left-hand side is going to force out a lot of Elixir. We can go in for graveyards on both sides at the same time. I can dual lane pressure you right now. And you've never seen this with a graveyard deck before because I haven't in 6 years of playing the game. Is he done? Did he just get deleted on both sides? He's getting squelched, squandered, and absolutely melted. This is so fun. We know he's going to go for Royale Hog, so I'm going to go in for minions here. And I want to go in for 2 graveyards on top of each other now. I want to see how that works. So I'm going to go in for skeletons here. We're going to go in for the graveyard here. We're going to follow up with another graveyard. And then we're going to rage, I think. Or do I freeze? I think freezing is better. And then we can rage as well. So I'm going to hit an ice golem. And then I'm going to rage up all of my skeletons. We're fully surrounding the tower. And he is definitely dead. Those minions are raged up on the tower too. And his game is sad and blue. And there's nothing left for him to do. GG. Well played and peace out. That was a very fun game, and I cannot believe that this tech actually worked. We're adding another graveyard to the mix because we just buried our opponent. All right, we got a game against Mondragon. Well, we've got the dual graveyard. So if you're mono, we're going to be dual, dude. And we're ready for the most ridiculous duel ahead. I'm going to go in for the Archer Queen ability just because I want to make sure I can shred that Expo. And he's going to Fireball, but I don't think that kills. Let's go. That was so awesome for me. The Archer Queen stayed alive just despite our homie. And because it went invisible, the Archer Queen wasn't going to get targeted by the Expo after it popped out of the invisibility, so we still had a pretty decent trade. Also, because I think he overspent Elixir with the Fireball and the Expo into just a simple Archer Queen, I'm going to go for a Graveyard, and we'll see how it works. This could be pretty risky in single Elixir, but I think it's going to be the right play, especially if we can get a cheese freeze and then rage the minions on the tower. I was hoping we could kill the Ice Spirit as well, but it didn't work out. Jeez, there's no way that I am winning against an Expo deck with this meme deck. This should not be possible. I have no way of damaging down defensive Expos. So if he realizes he can just drop a defensive Expo and I can't Fireball, Lightning, or drop a spell to finish it off. So we need to make sure that we keep up the pressure so he never feels comfortable like thinking about any of those strategies. Basically, we want to keep up the pressure so that our homie can't think. He's not allowed to use his brain, so then he gets put in a situation where he gets a lot of pain. Also, that Fireball was another overcommitment, I think. Because if you remember last time, the minions are very difficult to deal with if you're just going to use a Tesla. It's not going to be an adequate answer. So I'm going to go for my minions in the back and slow roll it like a giant graveyard player might, and then go in for an aggressive pekka on top of the Archer Queen instead. He's probably not ready for this because honestly, I don't think I would be if I was him. So yeah, we're going to go in pekka and melt the queen before he even can go invisible because it one-taps it when the minions do some damage to it. And then I'm going to graveyard, and then I'm going to rage up a pekka with my graveyard skeletons at the same time. This should straight up be a crime. I'm going to be able to kill... I have to kill the skeletons instead. Wow, why am I disappointed? I just took an entire tower. It's like, wow, I wasn't able to rage up the pekka and the graveyard at once. I just took his tower. I don't know, guys. I'm just the greediest person on this planet. But there's one thing for sure. This guy would have to be even greedier than me if he thinks he has a hope of winning.
A few spooky, scary skeletons later.
Wait, what if I let him take a tower and I 3-crown him with graveyard? I really want this to happen. Please, please take my tower. At all costs, I want you to take my tower so that I can freeze here and get double graveyard on top of your king tower. Dude! Oh, he went all in and we took everything. The cost of double graveyard is 11 elixir, but the actions of your skeletons and the reactions of your opponents are priceless. Let's go. We got a game against Iron Man. I really thought his name was going to be Iron Man. I was like, bro, or is it a Iron Man? I think it might actually be an Iron Man. Oh, okay, wait. Elixir Collector is usually horrible for this deck because if they drop it in the middle, then I can't hit it. But since he dropped it in the back, we have a plan to attack. We can go in for this graveyard. It's going to fully encompass the entire skeleton surrounding on top of the Elixir Collector. And we'll show you guys why this is actually a very feasible strategy. So even if he goes Golden Knight, notice how the Golden Knight will be able to kill the majority of the skeletons. It doesn't matter if you kill the skeletons because guess what? You have no Elixir for my pekka. Oh! That was filthy. That was disgusting. The Pekka was able to one-shot the Hunter because the Rage did just enough damage to put it in one-shot range for my Pekka. And then we cannibalized his Golden Knight too. How is this deck working better than I expected? This is supposed to be a trash tier deck, and it's still beating people very easily. So, you know, we've trashed and dashed his towers. He's going to try a similar strategy. Let's do it again. Let's do it again. Again, still going for the graveyard here. I need to have enough elixir for the freeze. One thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for my Archer Queen to get closer to the 3-crown right now. And then I should be able to freeze on all of his stuff. We're waiting. We're waiting. We're waiting. Let's go. We hit the cannon cart. And we also are going to be able to go in for the Archer Queen ability on the 3-crown too. Yeah, so as you guys can see, this guy is roasted and toasted. There is no way for him to come back. Every time he goes in for the Elixir Collector, it's never safe.
A few dominance is asserted later.
Instead of getting counter-pushed with his cards, he just gets countered by skeletons. Every single time, they are swarming and dining and dashing on his towers. And when the Golden Knight's frozen, he has no hope to dash through them. We jump into the game against Kitty. Hopefully she doesn't jump on my lap with a whole bunch of cards because, you know, we don't want to deal with that today. We want to chill until double elixir because that's where our deck dominates, and it's terrible until then.
A few moments later.
No, Kitty, I hate you. And I love how you did oops right when you dropped the Royal Ghost in the back, like you knew you were being a scandalous sir. That was awful for me. And he's gonna go for a log on top of my Pekka too. Okay, all right. Okay, I kind of wish I had my Pekka right now, and I really wish the Royal Ghost wasn't hitting my tower while splashing onto the Pekka. You would assume the Pekka would be thick enough to be able to soak up the shot from the Royal Ghost and not have the Royal Ghost splash through and also end up hitting your tower at the same time. It just doesn't feel right, you know? So I'm going to go in for the Archer Queen ability if possible, but the Fisher Boy yoinked and deleted everything that I held dear and near to my life. Okay, so looking at the game, I'm in the worst spot I've been in all day. This is not the type of way that we want to play. Kitty is just getting the massive amount of damage with the Royal Giant, and then also getting me in a bad card cycle where I have like 3 spells and mirrored minions, which mirrored minions never really gives you a good trade. It also showcases how crazy the deck will be. Oh, he BM'd me as well. He gave me the yawn face as soon as he dropped the Mother Witch right into the minions. They knew that was a good strategy. They knew they were going to be up from that. Beat the Dirty BMer. Mission impossible when they have a good matchup. We have to still make this work. Mother Witch into Mirror Graveyard. Oh, man. This is just not what we wanted to have happen. Maybe we can go in for a freeze and get a little bit lucky with the Pekka going to finish off the Fisherman, and then we can rage up the Skeletons and hopefully end up hitting the Goblins as well with the Rage. We didn't hit all the Goblins, though. Oh, no. How am I going to make this work? I guess I have to go for an Archer Queen here because everything else is going to be suboptimal to finish it off. He could go for a Lightning, though, so I'm a little bit scared, so I need to go for Minions just in preparation. What? Oh, my gosh, he missed the Lightning. We're back in business. The Phoenix Egg pushed it. That's incredible. That was marvelous for me. And then we can go for a freeze? We can go in for the Archer Queen ability? No way. This might work. Guys, there's a strategy. There's a play. I wasted my rage and happiness, and now he's back in the game. Why did I put him back in the game? If I go for a Pekka, he's probably going to go for a Fisherman, so I can go in for the Pekka here. I can expect him to go in for a Lightning. Okay, maybe we can go in for Minions? Go in for a Graveyard after? This is still super sketchy for me. I don't know if I can kill this. If I decide to go for a freeze, it might not be enough. I need the Pekka to lock onto the tower. We are going to be able to kill the Mother Witch, but the Phoenix is still alive, and the Graveyard Skeletons did not give us near as much as I needed. Oh my gosh, please let me beat the BMer. Please let this happen, Clash Royale. I need it for my sanity right now. Okay, so he's going to go and pull the wrong thing. He's going to go and pull Skeletons. Hopefully we can make this work. We should be able to finish off the RG before it gets pulled. Okay, this is decent. We can work with this. We can definitely work with this. We're going to go for another Pekka. I think that Phoenix is going to respawn, but it's not going to be that bad. We've got double Pekkas, double domination right now. You guys know how we do. We are probably going to get Lightning, so I'm a little bit scared. Mom, pick me up. All right, if I freeze, is that worth it? Because I should be able to freeze the Phoenix. I think that's going to be a good strategy. We can maybe go in for a Graveyard now with the Rage, because I should be able to kill the Goblins, and then I can go in for another Rage with the Graveyard Skeletons. I don't know. This has to do something. The Pekka needs to lock on a tower. It's not happening, though. No, we lost. That's unfortunate. He's going to go in for a Fisherman, so I can't do anything besides Minions. Everything else would be useless. Unless we get super lucky and we can go in for like a freeze here and then go in for the Archer Queen ability, but the Lightning should do enough. Barely going to take an L there. It drops a thanks. You know, we can't win every game we play. This deck is pretty bad into a Mother Witch and Goblins. Not something I expected to win anyway. But it was cool to bounce back for that short second, making our opponent miss the Lightning with his own card. Super fun stuff. Let's go on to the next game and bounce back there. Let's keep cruising through. Wait, this guy is about to hit 7,500 trophies, and we're the final boss. So this is probably the worst deck you would ever want to get tilted against in Clash Royale. Imagine losing to double Graveyard for the first time in your life, right before you're able to reach the last Clash Royale arena. Oh my goodness, I'm excited. So I'm going to go and click the Archer Queen ability because I want to be able to melt the Magic Archer before it does too much damage. And 3-3-3-3. Wow, that's a pretty lucky number. We'll take that. I'm going to go in for the Archer Queen, and then hopefully we can end up getting the Archer Queen to lock onto the tower if I'm lucky. If not, we can go for a Rage, so then we're able to do damage. What if I freeze with like 3 Skeletons on your tower? Is that worth it? Oh, that has to be worth it. Somehow you were able to wiggle your way to a Zap, which I did not expect to be in your deck, to be honest. When we see Magic Archer, I'm almost always seeing like a Rage or a Log, but he's going to end up having Bridge Spam with Zap. Okay, all right, I see you, sir. Maybe you're going to be running Pekka, right? That would make sense. Yeah, it could be just Pekka Bridge Spam with Zap. That would make sense. Do we want to go for a Pekka in the back on the right-hand side? Rather just go for Minions because the cost of our cards are so high. I don't want to throw this game to the sky. I'm going to drop my Minions instead of just like going and gifting our opponent a free win by dedicating too much Elixir early on. We can go in for the Archer Queen here and almost always get a good trade because he's going to go and attack it, and then we go in for invisible, and then you're going to go invisible, and then we're all invisible out here. Oh my gosh. I'm going to go in for a Pekka since I need to guarantee that the Royal Ghost and the Bandit don't lock onto my tower. He could go for a Pekka as well, but we've got Freeze and we've got Rage. So this would be pretty fun, I think. I Freeze, then I Rage at my Pekka, and you use your Electro Wizard on top of my Pekka. You aren't able to like rage it up, and you aren't able to stun my stuff either. So you got to go for a Battle Ram on defense, which I gotta say isn't like a good play. Like it is a good play because you had to defend, but it isn't a good play from a perspective of like you wish you had something better than that, you know? The Pekka will die. You don't have Freeze like me. You aren't one of us. Oh my gosh. So what do you guys think? Do you think he's gonna have Poison or Fireball? That's the real question right now. I'm excited to see. What are you going to do to me, sir? We can go in for the Archer Queen always with the graveyard, and then we can freeze afterward. But I think it's going to be slightly better for me to go in for minions here just because they can't get zapped away like the skeletons would. So yeah, there's the zap. It's still going to give them a lot of value, but this is the push that we wanted. This is where we wanted to be. We can go in for our skeletons. We can go for our Archer Queen, and we can pile everything we have at the river. Let's see how it works. So he's got Fireball in his deck. He's already showcasing what he's got. We know that the Archer Queen is going to give us a lot of value. I want to go for a freeze here because I think the Archer Queen is just going to leave him like class is over. Look at the skeletons. Okay, I vibe with that.
I'm going to take a little bit more damage than I would need to on the other side.
Ooh, this is a little bit sketchy because he could go for a Royal Ghost in the right-hand lane. Nope. He's going to go in for a Magic Archer, so we're going to make the prediction with the minions. Oh my gosh. That was so freaking close. If that locked onto my tower, I would have had 0 power to defend that. Fortunately for us, we were able to stop it. I can go for an Archer Queen here. Wait, what if I go in for 2 graveyards at the same time? So the Archer Queen on the right-hand side is definitely going to bait out a lot of Elixir. So we're going to fool him. We're going to go for the graveyard on the right-hand side, and he's going to think that that's the right play to defend that side. So he's going to go and catapult all of his Elixir there. Then, meanwhile, we go in for the graveyard in the other lane. Then we go in for the freeze on top of the Magic Archer. And then we hit him up with the rage on the Magic Archer and whatever he's trying to defend with. You can't stop level 15 raged up skeletons from swarming you. It's GG. That was awesome. And I feel really bad tilting the Supreme Deity. Hopefully the guy is able to eventually climb up to 7,500 trophies. I feel like an absolute monster. You have to let me know down below in the comment section what's more toxic, the guy BMing me last game with a huge hard counter, or me beating someone right about to reach 7,500 trophies, kicking his trophies down and making him try again. As we walk away today, there's one thing I gotta say. I love this deck. There are so many different ways of playing it, doubling up the graveyard to even 3-crown opponents, or going for double side aggression so then you force out Elixir on the other side and then swerve them to take the other tower. Obviously, the deck is a pretty memey concept, but this is the best double graveyard deck you can play. Like, subscribe for more daily videos, and have an incredible rest of your day.